Have you ever found yourself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and suddenly you're not in your room anymore? You're on a stage, accepting an award, the applause is thunderous, or maybe you're rehearsing a difficult conversation with your boss, crafting the perfect comeback. Or perhaps it's darker. You're imagining a crisis, a loss, a moment of sheer panic. Your heart races, your palms sweat. For a few seconds, it feels utterly, terrifyingly real. This isn't just daydreaming. This is something deeper, more persistent, and for some, completely all-consuming. We're talking about the intricate psychology of people who live in imagined worlds, the architects of fake scenarios. Why do some minds compulsively build these elaborate alternate realities? And what does this constant construction project reveal about the person doing the building? Let's be clear, everyone does this to some degree. It's a fundamental human trait. But for a significant number of people, this isn't an occasional mental diversion, it's a default setting. Their mind is a theatre that never closes, running continuous showings of what if. The plots can be glorious fantasies or catastrophic anxieties, but the mechanism is the same, a withdrawal from the present moment into a meticulously detailed, self-generated fiction.
So what's really going on in the brain?
Neuroscientists point to the default mode network, a web of brain regions that lights up when we're not focused on the outside world. It's the engine of self-referential thought, memory, and, crucially, imagination. In people who frequently imagine fake scenarios, this network isn't just active, it's often overactive, a superhighway of internal narration. It's as if the brain's simulation software is constantly booted up, running scenarios for practice, for pleasure, or for protection. But the why is where the true psychology gets fascinating. For many, these imagined scenarios are a form of emotional rehearsal. Life is unpredictable and messy, our imagined worlds are not. By controlling every variable, every line of dialogue, every reaction, we create a sense of mastery over a universe we fundamentally cannot control. That argument you rehearse for the 10th time? It's not really about winning. It's about soothing the anxiety of potential conflict. You're inoculating yourself against the chaos of real human interaction. Then there's the escapism factor. The present moment can be dull, stressful, or deeply unsatisfying. The imagined scenario is a portal. It offers a hit of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, without any of the real-world risk. You can be the hero, the victim, the genius, the lover, all from the safety of your own mind. This is where it can tip from a harmless hobby into a problematic coping mechanism. Why struggle through the hard work of building a real career when you can get a similar emotional payoff from imagining your success? The brain starts to confuse the simulation for the real thing, and motivation for actual achievement can wither. But perhaps the most powerful driver is the need for narrative coherence. Our brains are hardwired to see patterns, to create cause and effect, to tell stories about who we are. When real life feels random, disjointed, or meaningless, the imagined scenario provides a clean, satisfying story arc. You are the main character. Every event has a purpose. Every hardship leads to growth. In a fake scenario, you are never just a bystander to your own life. You are the author, the director, and the star. This is where we start to see the shadow side of this incredible mental ability. Because when the imagined scenarios are predominantly negative, what psychologists often call catastrophizing or rumination, they aren't a rehearsal. They are a prison. The brain isn't preparing for a threat. It's living in a state of perpetual, simulated threat. The body's stress response, cortisol, adrenaline, gets triggered by a fiction. The heart pounds, muscles tense, all because of a story that exists only between your ears. The line between a practiced response and a self-fulfilling prophecy becomes dangerously thin. So who is most prone to this? Is it a sign of creativity or of neurosis? The answer is, it's complicated. Often, it's both. Highly creative individuals naturally have rich inner worlds they can tap into. But research also strongly links a tendency for excessive scenario building with anxiety disorders. It's a tool that can be used for brilliant invention or for brutal self-torture. The difference lies in the content, the control, and the crucial, often overlooked, relationship between the imagined world and the real one. So how do we manage this relationship? How do we harness the power of the simulated world without becoming its prisoner? The first step is recognition. To catch yourself in the act and ask a simple, brutal question: is this a tool or is this a trap? Are you running a simulation to solve a problem, to explore a creative idea, to prepare for a genuine upcoming challenge?
Or are you looping on a nightmare reel, reinforcing fears that have no basis outside your own mind? That distinction is everything.
Because the trap isn't the scenario itself. The trap is believing it. It's the failure to open the door and let the fresh air of reality rush in. When a negative scenario plays, your brain treats it as data. It files it away as experience. Over time, a neural pathway forms. The more you walk that dark, imagined path, the wider and more well-trodden it becomes, until it's the default route your thoughts take at the slightest provocation. You've literally wired yourself for fear. The antidote isn't to stop imagining. That's impossible. The antidote is to consciously build better stories. It's to use that same magnificent machinery for deliberate, constructive creation. This is called mental contrasting or positive rehearsal. Imagine the challenge, yes, but then force your mind to vividly imagine a successful outcome. Picture the steps, feel the sensations of competence, visualize navigating the obstacle. You're not engaging in blind optimism. You're programming your brain with a different, more empowering script. You're building a new neural pathway right next to the old, fearful one. And then you must test it. You must take a piece of that imagined scenario and bring it into the real world. The smallest action will do. If you've imagined a catastrophic social failure, force yourself to give a small compliment. If you've looped on a scenario of professional ruin, send one email you've been putting off. This action, no matter how minor, creates a crack in the prison wall. It provides your brain with contradictory evidence. It whispers to the anxious part of your mind, "See? The story wasn't entirely true." Ultimately, the psychology of people who imagine fake scenarios is the psychology of what makes us human. We are the storytelling animal. We cannot not narrate our existence. The question is not whether you have an inner world, but what kind of sovereign you are over it. Are you a passive audience member, strapped in, forced to watch whatever horror or fantasy your subconscious projects? Or are you the active author wielding the pen, understanding that the first draft is never the final one? Your mind is the most powerful world-building engine in the known universe. It can construct paradises and infernos with equal ease. The difference between a life of anxiety and a life of creative resilience isn't the presence of the fake scenario. It's the moment you pause, look at the world you've built, and decide, I can edit this. You change the genre. You rewrite the dialogue.
You choose to step out of the simulation and feel the undeniable, textured, beautifully unpredictable reality of the present moment.
That is the final and most important scene. The one where you close the laptop of your imagination, look up, and remember what is real and what is not. The power was never in the scenario. The power is in the hand that turns the page.